Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Days Podcast along with a new video. So today I wanted to talk about an album, a very, very great album. Um, and I want to be able to let you guys know that we are now in Gemini season. It is a new season, and it's getting warmer. You guys like the color, yeah. There's a lot more that we will talk about, and I'm happy that I have been able to almost be at 50 episodes. Hello. We are making content around here, okay? So the album I would like to talk about is Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. So I feel as though it is time for me to talk about more albums. I will talk more about astrology and dig more deeper into things on the Patreon. Okay, so I'll be doing a deep dive more into Michael, where we will talk more about personality and just the things he's done and as a humanitarian, positive things. I would love to talk more about it on here. But of course, I want to make sure that I have equal representation where, for the public, we can be able to talk about things and casually be able to enjoy talking about it, as opposed to the Patreon is the same feel, as opposed to being able to just be a bit more open and understand that his legacy is forever great and will live on. So, without further ado, we are talking about Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. This is his 5th studio album. So, he's had quite a few albums before this album. And, this release was August. Let's just say this. August 10th, 1979. The world was understanding that Michael was an adult. Okay? Because this is going on 21. Birthday month. Party. I'm here. Alright? And so, he worked on The Wiz. We can dig into that a little. So 1978, he was, on The Wiz. And, you kind of say to yourself, like, yeah, like, I'm it's time to make some music. Like I'm really in a great movie, and and he worked with different artists, and there were different songwriting that was there was just so much that was put together. Between 1972 and 75, he released a total of 4 studio albums with Motown as part of the Jackson 5 franchise. And got to be there, Ben, Music and Me, Forever Michael, before recording his next album, which came to be Off the Wall. So, what I want y'all to do, because true Michael fans do this, that says 1972, right? So that means that's over 40 years worth of music. Y'all give that man his respect continuously, okay? Go ahead and listen to his older work when he was younger and see the growth, where the process was coming into Thriller, which we will talk about. So, as far as like okay, so let me see what it says here. Jackson desired to create a record not sounding like a Jackson's record, but rather showcasing creative freedom and individualism. This album peaked at number 3 on the top LPs and tapes chart and number 1 on the top Black albums chart. So this is the thing. The Black culture, we was loving this. everyone else, just pop, was just like, all right, all right, don't stop till you get enough. All right, all right. They was still feeling him out more, but it's something because it's like when he was younger, y'all was right there. You, that's what I'm, like I don't, and that's what they feel as though they want, like. So this is my thing, and the best way I can explain it is this: when it comes to even just hip hop and rap, like they will, like the public will like, even me as a consumer, we will eventually see that something wasn't right to why something is now. And so what I'm trying to say here is, this man could have went number one for this. What do you mean 3? But then I gotta look at the competition at that time, and then I gotta also look at who released what. So I can't even say that it doesn't deserve a number one. Well, if you're seeing it in the black culture, then it definitely was just, listen. But yes, like I said, it was number one on top black albums, staying at number one on the ladder for 16 weeks. It was an enormous critical success. It stayed on the black culture number one albums for months. And you mean to tell me that it's labeled at that time top LPs and tapes. Billboard 200 is what it considered is now, I guess, if anything. But what do you mean it's 3? And then woof. But then again, like I said, there are other artists that were just peaking and coming out, and I've said this in even the Aaliyah, not even just One in a Million, but Aging and a Number, because those albums, they're literally right behind each other, because 95 was in the process of where she was coming from one album, then starting going into another. So that's a similar effect with this, because this was released in August as opposed to Thriller, which was released in, I believe, November, right? I believe so, right? Yeah, yes, November 29th. So you say to yourself, and that's 3 years. So we'll get into Thriller. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. But like I said, there was 5 singles. Jackson wrote 3 of those singles, including the Billboard number 1, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. His first number 1 single in the United States since Ben. Oh my God. So he didn't go number 1 since Ben. The second single, Rock With You, went number 1, with following singles Off the Wall and She's Out of My Life also reaching the top 10. Jackson became the first solo artist to have 4 singles from the same album reach the top 10 on the Hot 100. And y'all mean to tell me he couldn't go number 1 for that album? Because the singles were just hitting, right? No, that's my musical father. I don't care. I love him. No. I'm not gonna play with him like that. Hell no. Anyway, yeah. Was a significant departure from Jackson's previous work. Yeah. It was from Motown. Disco era, yes. Yeah. But as far as production, You know, he he was not sure what he wanted as the final result. However, he did not want another record that sounded like the Jacksons. So they keep saying this. So there's an emphasis here, which is why when he worked with, um, different people to put this together, and yeah, like just great reviews. There was impact. Is widely considered by critics and publications as one of the greatest albums of all time. Because it just listen, no one was ready. That's why I didn't know. They wanted to no. They was loving the singles down. But you mean to tell me this? No, I really would. It should have went number one. It should have, but it was number one on the Top Black. So I mean, I can't say no. I can't say that it didn't go number one. It's just from all around. I feel like at that time, people were still trying to understand things with other artists too. Like, where their music going? Where their music going? So they just couldn't deny the fact that this man was talented. That's just what it is. And so when we look at the track lists, right? Well, first and foremost, let's look at the accolades. So for the Grammy Awards, Grammy Hall of Fame as of 2008, American Music Award, it won for Favorite Soul R&B Album and Favorite Soul R&B Album for 1981 as well. Okay, won the same award for 2 different years. And let me just collect this as I'm gonna collect this, like, this, no. Top Black Album for Billboard Music Awards, okay, 1980. Yeah, Billboard Greatest of All Time 200 Albums record was ranked 149 in 2015 at the time. Huh? Rolling Stone Greatest Albums of All Time, number 68 in 2012, and then it went more closer to 36 by 2020. See, I don't always try to go with all publications in the sense of where there's so much music and this is where it should be, and this is like, everybody's different. But I can't say that when it comes to sales that certain things don't appear. Sales are real. So yes, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is the first song. Then you have Rock With You. Then you have Working Day and Night. Okay, Get On The Floor. And then you have Off The Wall. So this is the thing. At the time, it was flip the tape. So side one, we pate. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, Working Day and Night, Get On The Floor. And side two, we still partying, Off The Wall, and then Girlfriend. And then She's Out of My Life. Things are slowed down, all the way down. Yeah, I'm about to be in tears. Like, I'm over it. This girl's gone. Oh, but then I Can't Help It is right after. So it's like, all right, I made y'all upset. Now I'll make y'all feel. Yes, okay. And then it's the falling in love. And then Burn This Disco Out. So, yeah, the original LP cassette pressings and some early CD issues pressed in Japan contain the original mixes. So there was a lot of distribution. Like I was saying, y'all, as far as with the charts, yeah, U.S. Billboard Top Black Albums, number 1. Then the UK went number 5. So I mean, the UK, they were like, oh, you know what? We feeling this. And just here, we just 3. All around, it was just 3. And it should have been 1, in my opinion. and it was one in Australia. So like I said, it's like if Australia can just listen to it and just be like, yes, completely, well, like they just ate it up. They just was like, yes, off the wall. Like what happened with us? But like I said, releases, we never know what was released around that time, and I feel like, and that's what I'm going to talk about with Dangerous too, because Dangerous had a similar effect, but it was the opposite. Like Michael went number one, I believe, with Dangerous. Let me find that out right now. Just so you guys can know. I wonder. But yes. Let me look. Because I was actually considering just doing that album where there's a slight deep dive for Patreon, because so of course we're going to talk about the album, but I'm going to talk about the album on Patreon in a way where it's just like, okay, so in the midst of this album, like, this is what's going on, like, really? I don't think, and that's the thing with me, like, I'm unbiased, so I'm not gonna be all the way real with y'all. Like, there's certain things that I just know are just ridiculous. Like, this man is just a legend. Like, and I'm not even gonna say certain things. I just damn near all things that just, we're all just trying to make him be crazy looking just for no reason. Like, I just feel like, no, like, he didn't do, no. But we will talk about it, because talking about things allegedly on here, you know, just, it's not always something that people, it's not necessary. Like, if like, it has to be valid ways of trying to look at something, with, as opposed to just throwing it out there. Yeah, that's what it is because this person did it and this person said it. It's like, what? And I just don't believe that that's just the type of man this man was. I don't believe that. So, like I was saying, let's go and look and see how. Was it? Yes. So yeah, no, Dangerous was number one and had an effect where, and within a few months, or some time, all of a sudden there was just releases on releases that were like unexpected, as opposed to his release that was unexpected, because there was a date, but then it was like, there's a date, and then it came out, and then just right out the cut, all these other releases just came out of nowhere. The 90s, people wasn't making the music just down. And I feel like he really inspired more songwriting and more people being able to do more, because he did a lot, Prince did a lot, like all the artists back then did a lot. I give them all flowers, okay? So, like I said, yeah, it went number one. And, it's something with the effect of where it came to when he came in with Off the Wall, where it's like number 3, and then just, so it's like a, but not completely, because it's like, he still was technically number 1 with Invincible in my book. I believe there was a sense of it being number 2 to number 1, or just number 1 to number 2. I will look more into that, but all I know is this man is just a legend. So yeah, that's pretty much the album. Like, as far as with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, like, great disco track, and it's long. That's 6 minutes long. Like, and that's another thing too. Like, people don't always put out long songs like they used to. It's very much, if I go past 4 minutes, hopefully I have a great, bridge to kind of give the verses some color, as opposed to the choruses. And it's like, no. This man had about 4 different verses in that song. Like, if you listen to it, in the ad libs, you know, there's just different, and that's what made it great because it's like you're not. I'm not saying that lyric content does not matter in certain areas of music, but you gotta have like, because I feel like when it comes to the writing process, like you can just write poetry down, but then once you got the tone, and then once you have the sense of how you want to be able to convey that voice and how you want to have the words be expressed, yeah, like it's not gonna always be. Sometimes if you do it in a certain way, the song's smaller, which is why there's a speed up and slow down version of certain songs where you kind of say to yourself, if it was sung like this, and if this person had a certain voice, if you pitch an AI, just, it's not, come on. Y'all silly for all that. So anyway, like I said, with Rock With You, it's almost half of the amount of time, but still you get so much of a song, and that's why I just feel like you know, there just need to be more music like that. Just entertain, sing, dance even. But yes, you know, Off the Wall and She's Out of My Life, you know, those songs are around 4 minutes, you know. So I feel like when it comes to when this album came out, he's seen how things were with the success, but he was ready to just be like, I need to make something greater, much greater. And just from the feel from what he had just as a child, from just so much hard work, despite, even if you had any type of feelings that you may have had to, you know, hold within and just kind of just, you know, address in whatever way later. But he persevered, and yeah, Off the Wall was really his beginning of knowing, like, I'm about to really be something, and they're not ready for it. And he may have said that, you know, and yeah. So I got so much respect for him, and I'm really happy you guys was able to enjoy this video. And yeah, I will be talking about more, and I'll be back with more.